Hi, this is Michael William Denney of the Michael William Denney YouTube channel and of the ThunderWizard.com YouTube channel. First thing I want to talk about, again, I'm sharing with you guys. Tell me if this bores you. I don't know. But I'm doing what I said I was going to do, which is I'm sharing with you my experience with channeling. So I just did my third or my fourth channel experience with ChandraRaja. And if you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch that right now. And there were two questions. One of them was what is in a word, and the other one was somebody who had asked what should they do with their life, and then I think they deleted the question, so I'm keeping them anonymous, but that's a very common question. So I gave both of those questions to ChandraRaja. And on the second question, I had an idea. I had a pretty good idea what he was going to say. Because these are things I'm teaching anyway. He says it in a completely different way, but the essence is the same. And then the first question, I honestly had no idea. My first thought was, that's a ridiculous question. I don't know how to answer that, and I didn't. I had no idea. If you would have asked me that question, I would have gone, I don't know what the hell you mean by that. But ChandraRaja is not afraid of any question, apparently, and he dove right into it, and was an amazing answer, I thought. I really enjoyed it. So, again, the question is, are any of these things different than me? I don't know, but I do know this, that the personality of Michael William Denney I'm finding out he has his own limitations in how he thinks. And he makes conclusions and going, I'm big macho man. I react like that. I react in anger. I sometimes can be dismissive. I can sometimes be overbearing. I work really hard not to do that when I'm teaching or working with people, but I can be very judgmental. And and I honor that in myself because that's the warrior mentality. And according to my Vedic chart, my greatest strength is to be the spiritual warrior. So that's been my challenge, is to work with the hard warrior aspect and bring him into the spiritual, the shaman, the warrior shaman, which is about healing and balance. So that's my challenge. But when I do ChandraRaja, he doesn't have those limitations. And again, is that me? Is that really ChandraRaja? Is it just that I'm opening myself up and these are things, they're coming out of me. I feel them when they're coming out. So it's an interesting thing. And then the question comes, if you can tap into or create an ideal personality, can you decide to shift residences? Can you decide to take your personality with its own rigidness and put it aside and be the other personality? Well, what that whole thing is, but definitely for me, this is an experience of becoming I don't want to say more authentic self, because that sounds, I don't like the way that sounds, a higher vibration of my true self. And speaking of Bashar again, if you haven't seen it already, I gave Bashar my stamp of approval after giving him such a hard time. And Daryl Anka says the same thing. He says that, again, he doesn't put any labels on what he thinks it may or may not be. He only says, here's what Bashar tells him. And according to him, Bashar says that is his future self. I love that idea, with the assumption that my future self is a more highly evolved self. And then that brings up the whole question of, the future and the past, we already know exists simultaneously. And this present is a choice. We choose to be who we are in the present. So then when I watch that and I listen to that, I go, well, why not just become Bashar? That's what I want to do. For instance, let me give you an example. When I listen to Bashar talks about changing realities billions of times a second, and that you choose your reality every single moment, and whatever your reality is, and you could create a reality where everything is perfect and wonderful and all that. And for the channeler, that's very convenient, because then he can just disconnect the channel and he doesn't have to follow that. He doesn't have to live that. We just know there's this higher being and he's able to do that, but we humans, we don't. And I want to go, you know what? I want to do that. I want to be that guy who changes reality. You know, and I've had experiences of doing that. You know, I'll share more of those. I've definitely had them. But the constraints of Michael William Denney and his biases and his beliefs and his, you know, keep him in this reality, and I want to be able to shift it into something as incredible as possible. I want to be able to do that. So I don't want to hide behind ChandraRaja and say, oh, he's just ChandraRaja, because he's definitely something part of me. I want to be able to do what he's able to do, whatever that is. Anyway, that's it for now. More to come.